Okay. So I'm gonna do this where I'm just gonna stream it to YouTube and then I'll upload the VOD afterwards. I'm not in the mood to do like a full stream with people watching. So I'm just gonna go over, so I don't get distracted. So I'm just gonna go over how I made my Moving Castle remix. Yeah. So check it out. This is the project file for my Moving Castle remix. My remix of Moving Castle by Trac3r, which will be the first. Well, it's not going to be in order. It's not going to be the first song on my album, but it will be on my album. The first single, technically, from my album. So let's just go through it piece by piece. So first we have this intro, which is very Dulcite inspired. If you haven't heard Dulcite by Porter Robinson, it's an incredible sort of abstract style song. So we have this, which is a reverb piano thing. We have the main chop melody right here. Which is from this, which is from a sample of the piano chords of the song. I did use some of the original stems from this song that I found in Trac3r's Discord server. Shout out to Trac3r. I'm going to be saying that a lot. I'm just going to say it once right now. Massive shout out to Trac3r for being a cool person and letting me, make this, put it on my album and everything. So we have this secondary chop part, which I made from a demo of the song, I think, or sort of. This is it. Something like that, and I made this with it. So originally this was supposed to go in the later half, but I wanted to include it because I thought it sounded really good. So I just put it in the intro with this thing. So at the end of the intro, we transition to the intro part. So we have piano chords. So these were, I originally tried using the piano from Moving Castle, the piano stem, but it didn't work out in this part, really. So I just put the chords into the lab's soft piano, and I added a whole shit ton of compressor and stuff. This right here is a recording of myself I put on for like 5 minutes. This was like 2 years ago when I started making this song. I put myself on a recording, and I made music. I worked on this song for like 5 minutes, and then I used it as a sample. Yeah. So we have the atmospheric part here, sort of. We have these bells, which show up in pretty much most of the song. We turn on the automation. I hope my voice is loud enough, I hope the music's loud enough, and I really hope my AC isn't too loud so where you can hear it. Yeah, so it kind of just has this random melody going. This is the original sample. It's from a Botanica sample pack, I think. So then I made this. This is just a second, like, double layer of these piano chords here. And then you have this very atmospheric pad. Serum and Nexus. And altogether, the intro instrument part sounds like this. And at the end, you have this really fast piano note going up. Let me just move this to a different layer, and you have, at the end, you have this. Sort of like the fucking Rushy song, almost, kinda. And you have a chop from Dulcite by Porter Robinson. Sort of as a, like, textural thing. And you have this, percussion loop, which I use as a fill, sort of. I like that. So most of the atmospheric parts of this song, you'll have this choir sample just playing over and over and over again. That's tuned to the key of the song, or I think it came in that tune, in that key. whatever. So you have a thunder boom sound noise thingy. It's a pad sample right here. This sparkly kind of noise. This Botanica swell, and you have the same pad sample before. I think they're tuned differently. Yeah, and then you have the bass boom sound noise. Yeah, so then we have this Spectral Piano Fields F minor 120. This is from a sample pack I downloaded. I don't know what it's called, but I can probably find it. It's a nice sample pack, I like it. Very ambient, I like that. And then there's this weird thing. I used a lot of samples from Dulcite by Porter Robinson in this. It's a very, like the second half especially, is a very Dulcite inspired song, and when I first made this, I was first really getting into Porter Robinson and stuff. So, yeah, it's very nurturing, very like Dulcite inspired, and yeah, pretty cool. Dulcite sound effect, blah blah blah. This I don't know what this is. Reverse sound effect. And then there's this fucking glitchy piano sample that I just love. It's from Dulcite. It's so pretty. I like this. And then we have Bell Atmosphere sound. More swells, more of the Dulcite glitchy piano. We have this experimental melody from, I think, one of the floral packs. And then in here, I just fucking sampled the Wii main menu theme, which plays in the background here. Yeah. I just added that as sort of like a nice tonal ambient sound kind of thing. It sounds like a really sparkly ping pong ball being knocked back and forth to me, kind of. And you have granular synthesis sampleizers like piano. You have these glitchy sounds. Other thunder boom sound. You have this percussion from Moving Castle. Nature sound effect. Trac3r nature ambience. And this impact over here. Some Botanica glitches from Moving Castle. Which I put reverb on. I put reverb on a lot of these samples. And then the vocal chops, which I think I tried being like creative with them at first, or not really creative, I don't know, whatever. But I tried like doing a different rhythm with them at first, but then I kind of just stopped that, and I made them play out more similarly than they actually do in the actual song. I really do like these. I think the vocal chops was one of the main reasons why I decided to do this, to remix this song. And you see the routing I have. So we have reverb, equalizer, more equalizer, delay, and equalizer. So then we get this first sort of break drop-ish section. I'm going to turn down the section. I'm going to turn down the volume. So this is very like Sea of Voices by Porter Robinson kind of type shit right here, stuff. So originally I tried making it based off of the chords here, but I really couldn't find any or make any good presets for this. So for the chords, I used, so anyways, I just used something from the Styx Nurture pack, like the Porter Robinson inspired pack by Styx, one of them. The Nurture pack, and I just used this synth loop and the different elements, and then I added my synth chords on top. So what I did was I made it like a repeating note pattern. We have a few layers. We have ultrasonic layer, ATEF saw chord, some kind of 3x OSC think I made, Vici sound, Serum, some sort of ARP thing, and then more ultrasonic stuff. I like this. All together like this. Then you have the bass. Excuse me if I sound a little like unstable today. I'm very tired and very hungry. Summer has not been well on me so far. Yeah, so we have this GMS sound, and we have something from Surge XT, which is something my friend Lefo put me onto, because they said I should use this, and I've been using it in like some of my songs. It's really nice. I like this. Yeah, so we have this preset right here. Yeah. That's a wrong pattern. Then you have this ARP. Sort of like the Thrill remix, sort of Sea of Voices. So you have two layers. You have your Avicii sound, and this future bounce lead I made. And what is this? I think this is Styrus or Citrus, whatever the fuck it's called. It's a nice. People sleep on like FL stock plugins. Honestly, I should be using them more. But yeah, you have this. And all together, kind of sounds like, and then you have the layers. You have the bass guitar, bass synth, chord support, and chords, and all together. Oh yeah, and the vocal chops. So all together, this drop section sounds like this. Some of the samples that were in the intro, and there's some weird freaky automation stuff going on down here, like this master EQ. I should have probably put it something like this, but yeah, I think that sounds a little better. I'm probably gonna like retouch up a few of the songs and whatever singles I release before I actually finish the whole album. But yeah. So then we have this, thing right here, top lead, with Surge XT and another Surge XT. I love this lead. This is the butter lead. This is so nice. I like that. And together, you have that. I think I put it to something. Never mind. Yes, that's what it sounds like. Let me just check. See over here. Yeah. So then it goes into this drop section, which is basically the same presets, same sort of stuff. What is this? Weird. So the drums I did from scratch with different loops and presets and stuff, or just loops and stuff. I originally tried using the drums from Moving Castle, but again, it didn't really fit that well, so you have this drum pattern. For anybody who knows about the sort of secret song I put on my SoundCloud, it's an edit I was working on for my Flowerfield set of my song Ocean from 2023. Here in the second half, there's like a drum bit part, and this is actually the same drums, or similar drums I made for that. I am still going to put Ocean in the track list, I just made a different edit of it, so don't worry, Ocean lovers. Yeah, nobody probably knows that song. Like, nobody who watches me now probably remember when I made that song, but yeah, it's kind of like it always will have a safe place in my heart, or whatever, special place. Yeah, okay, I'm yapping, so we just have this chord structure here, and then we have this stuff, you have the bass. There's some weird freaky bit crusher stuff happening here. And there's this sort of like happy, sort of anime sounding kind of shit right here. I put that playing in the background. So we now get to the second sort of intro. This was originally actually the intro at the beginning, but I made the intro at the beginning a little less like complete, like intentionally to make it to make the second break part intro part kind of thing sound a lot more I'd say full, interesting, pretty much. So we get the regular stuff, but they're different chords, I think. Sort of weird, freaky C major on top of F major kind of thing. No B's in there, so I guess so. Yeah, so you have the chords, you have piano, pad, and then you have this right here, which is from the original song, but I've remade it sort of with my own presets. This is sort of like tonal, ambient sound, noise, melody that plays in the background. Yeah, so you get that. It's Nexus Classical Choir 1 and Fantasy Bell Pad 1, both from Nexus. Yeah. So, yeah. Let's break down the sound effects here. And then you have the piano sample again. So there's this thing I made, which I made by taking sort of a funk cowbell noise and kind of splitting up a little bit in the what's it called, slicer thing. So what I did is I chopped it up a bit and then made it kind of play a little longer, and then I put it through reverb and delay, and it sounds like this. I kind of ate with that, I think. So I made the choir sample again. Let me turn on all the automation just to make sure everything is able to be heard. Oh my god, I'm so good at this, I guess. Yeah, so we have that. It fades in and then out, and we have some more nurture stick sound effects, and then stuff from Dulcite and stuff from the floral sample packs. Yeah, okay, we have that stuff. This. I'm just going through it all. And we have this Dulcite piano. Nurture Atmos. Impact right here. Some more stuff. Oh yeah, this is another sample from Dulcite. I like it. I think the addition of this melody here kind of sounds like it's getting, like, the melody, the song is getting pushed along into, like, the second half. It kind of takes over for the vocals at some point. Yeah, so we have that. Yeah, and then we got this last part here, which I made from the Botanica glitches from the original song. Yeah, so that's the second intro, as I like to call it, because it transitions us into the second half of the song, which I kind of feel like is a completely different song from the first half. Completely different song from the first half. I just slurred my words so hard there. Oh my god. Yeah, so at first it's very quiet, sort of. So I'll start with these samples down here, actually, I think. So you have this Dulcite sound. You have these Nurture synth loops, Nurture Atmos, and ambient samples. which are very reminiscent of Dulcite, like the second half of Dulcite especially. Oh my god, how much automation is on this? That's crazy. Yeah, so anyways, wow, there's so much automation on here. I did not realize I put this much. Okay, yeah, so we have the ambient samples. And then you have this bass line right here. Very simple chord progression. 4, 6, 4, 5. What is this? This is British, bro. Yes, then we have this piano chop loop, which I made from the Dulcite sample. Sort of. Yes, then we have this thing, which I made using, where is it? This. Okay, so that sample I made into this. Yeah, so you have these Botanica glitches playing during this, and then we get this really big, it feels like a chord stack. It feels like it has the emotional quality of a chord stack, but it's not as heavy. It feels like you're fucking ascending into heaven or something. And then we have these bells, which come back in. Yeah, I think they play a different melody, but I'm not sure. Yeah, they do. I just did a different melody with these two. And we have this, which is the same, like, sort of wobbly synth melody from the beginning. And you get this. Yeah, so that's sort of the middle third of this song, and then we get to the end here, which is a chord change. It kind of turns into a completely different song. I wanted it to sort of feel like near the end of production on this song, it started out as a very cookie cutter sort of remix where it wasn't really that different from the original song, and then I made the first half sort of like that. It kind of felt like a bright blue sky with clouds and the sun, birds and shit. And then the second half feels very much like a sunset, or like a time of day where the sun is below the horizon, or almost below the horizon to me. And the very end here feels like you're just going to sleep at night, or if not that, you're just, it's nighttime now. It feels very much like the progression of the day, and I felt, especially with the vibe of the song, feeling like it's very, sun's out, your day's going great. It feels very like blue sky-ish to me. Yeah, so sort of my process for this. Hold on, I just want to check to see if the audio is working. Okay, good. Yeah, so I get to this, which I like to call the sunset half. And in the music video, I used Vizzy to edit the music video. I made two different versions of the single cover art. One is a like sort of a daytime thing, and then one is a sunset sort of nighttime thing. And I edited it so that halfway through the video, around this part, yeah, that part, it switches from the first art to the second art, sort of like the progression of the day or whatever, stuff like that. So then we get the second half, this little piano fill in the middle here. Yeah, so we get these bells. They're playing more of a hold on. Playing less of a randomized, more of a non-random melody. And we get the wobbly synth lead on here has been replaced by a piano making this melody. Feels very trancey to me, like very 90s Eurodance kind of stuff. Like 2000s Eurodance EDM or whatever. This is Black Hole Piano from Nexus. I think it's the factory preset, and apparently it's not really hooked up to anything, just the second drop side chain, which you'll see in a second. Yeah, so it does that. So this gets changed in key, obviously. What's this? Oh yeah, sort of like a synth pad sort of thing, like brass 80s kind of thing. This is a guitar chord stack. Yeah, the guitar part of the song. If you can't probably tell, I love the second half better than the first half, I think. Yeah, so it's just guitar fuzz 2 is the preset, and the let's see, 6/7 motherfucker. Yeah, so it's hooked up to EQ. Got a transgate effect, sort of making it feel very much like it's very distorted, very unstable in volume and pitch. And you got Trac3r, making it sound like it's going through an amp. And you got the stereos all the way to the left, so it's all the way blue, not to the right. Yeah, so it's very stereo separated. Yeah, so you get that. What else? The bass gets changed too, obviously. Yeah, same with these samples here. But there's the tonal samples on top here. Pretty cool. And then the second half of the song has the vocals differently. So we got this. I'll get to the drums in a second. And you have this guitar melody. Actually, hold on. First, you get this. What is this? Yeah, okay, so this is the bass layer for this part of the song. You get the silent, ATEF saw lead, venture bass, whatever that is. And then I put a transgate on top of that. Yeah, just following the bass line pattern, and you get this. Yeah, so then you, this wobbly synth lead melody is replaced by this guitar lead here, I think. Yeah, so you get this. It's just the guitar fuzz layer, apparently. Yeah, so what is this? You get this. Oh yeah, this was an original sort of like vocal melody thing I did at the end. I don't know why I said original. It's sort of part of something else. I don't know. Yeah, so it's just the vocals from the original song, and then you get it like this. Yeah. So and then you get this synth lead melody on top. So you get this Nexus Beam World preset, and then another Beam World layer, but it's on 2 different octaves, so it sounds more full, kind of like that, and it just has EQ on it. Then there's the sidechain bus, and speaking of sidechain, let's get to the drums. So the drums, I had to do a bit of finagling here. This is a stem from, I think it's Shelter by Porter Robinson and Madeon. I originally tried using the, moving castle drums here, but it's just didn't work. I feel like the moving castle drums worked well in the demo version, but this feels very, like, different and much more full. It's very, like, yeah, sort of, like, fuller and newish. So what I did here is I sort of took samples from Shelter originally and tried making it as the drums, but then I put my own drums on top, and I just used the original stem. I feel like this is a very, considering it's a very Porter Robinson-inspired remix, I felt like it was kind of cool to add that in there. Yeah, so you get this crash sample once at the beginning, and then played again and again over here for sort of a tonal kind of thing. That's not the word, ambient fullerness, room, reverb, shit, whatever it's called. Delay, probably. Yeah, so you have the Styx nurture top loop here. I think the drums are distorted, and then you have this stuff thing, snare. That's what it's called. I love doing fills like that. They're fun. Yeah. So then we have this break loop sample on top. Acoustic break kick sort of thing. Oh, what's this? So I did this thing where I made it like a rhythm, almost like a melody with the kicks, where I put some on like offbeats, different offbeats, and I made it quieter, so it kind of gives a little more like punch to the actual drum. And then my favorite drum thing I did here was the hi-hats, which are very supposed to feel like very distorted, like kind of like rushing water. And I just put them to Fruity Blood Overdrive and Fruity Reverb. And then all together you have these drums. And the Shelter snare is pretty cool too. I have a I have the original sample from Shelter. Let me see if I can find it. Shit, I forgot I had this open. I just minimize this when I'm doing like streaming and stuff because there's a lot of shit here and it's like annoying. It's in the way. Yeah, I think I got this from the Porter Robinson Discord server. Shout out to whoever made that. Okay, so altogether you have this, and then you have the sidechain down here, obviously, and the bit crush doing some stuff, the master, EQ frequency, and the low half, and then you have this. So, and then the end part I like to call the nighttime part, I think. I just sort of came up with that, but yeah. You have this. You have the same instruments section, and then these two are different somehow, I guess. This part. Yeah, I really like that. Botanica glitch. This, Dulcide piano thing, the sort of Dulcide Atmos coming in, Botanica swell, the guitar melody, I think, doing something different there, sort of like a repeating sound. This isn't really able to be heard in the song, but it's sort of like the synth chord. And then you have the original, like the first half of Moving Castle, you have this vocal chop. Yeah, so that's how I did that part. I really fuck with this part where the bit crusher goes up and it sounds like it's being squeezed almost. It's like, it's already on the vocals. Yeah, I really like that. And then you have like the little glitchy vocal bit here. So like it's kind of breaking down. And then you have this experimental melody on some Botanica stuff. And what I did at the end here is I made it go slower. Let me put on the tempo. I'm not going to put on the EQ stuff filter just yet. So you have this. And it goes all the way down to I think 90 BPM. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Around there. Yeah. Sort of like you're kind of like leaving someplace, it feels like. And then at the end I did this thing inspired by the end of Trying to Feel Alive by Porter Robinson, where he put the last instruments in the song, they made them kind of like distorted all the way at the end, and I did this with a sort of, so something like that, but with these instruments. Almost like you're like transitioning to something else. That's probably not how I'm gonna put the actual transition in the album. I am planning to do transitions between songs, and also having like their own versions, but yeah. And that's how I made my remix of Moving Castle by Trac3r, an incredible song that you should absolutely go listen to. listen to mine version 2, please. This is the first single from the album Dimensions, which I am hoping to finish up pretty soon. I've already gotten like a lot of the songs done. This song will be in my Flower Field set this August, which I'm pretty excited about. I finished the set and I'm just waiting to film it. I'm really excited. So yeah, thank you for watching. Have a great day.